Are you a dork if you wave at other Tacomas? And what if they don't wave back? Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Pretty good here. And that's right. Are you a dork if you wave at other Tacomas? And how do you feel if they don't wave back? You know, right now, I'm out cruising around. I just finished a live stream. Did a little Tacoma Safari live, where we kind of go out and hunt Tacomas. Pretty cool. We did see a few. But as I'm driving around, you know, looking specifically for Tacomas, I just got to thinking, you know, should I be waving at them? And it kind of makes me feel kind of dorky if I wave and they don't wave back, you know? But is that right? Are you a dork if you wave at other Tacomas? You know, and how do you wave? What is the proper Tacoma wave so that you're not overly dorky? You know, I think when you wave at another Tacoma, you've also got to prepare yourself to save face if they don't wave back. So you want to do it in such a manner that it's kind of nonchalant, but still aggressive enough so that they know that you're waving at them, right? So what do? I mean, do you go like this? Now, I would say that is probably the definition of a dorky Tacoma wave. I wouldn't recommend doing this. I don't think they're probably going to wave back. I think they might think you have a loose screw or something. I don't know. So what do? Do you do a little two-finger, you know? Little two-finger wave? Do you do the old hand lift? How about the single finger? And I'm talking about the index finger, one of these. That's probably the coolest wave you can do, right? One of these. You know, with your finger on the steering wheel. So you got your left hand, if you're like me, on the steering wheel, and you kind of go. Sometimes, though, I will kind of lift my hand a little bit and go, you know, like this. I don't know. I don't know which one the best one is, but I think if you're trying to save face, just in case they don't wave back, then you want to do a pretty low-key wave. You know, I think the finger up, you know, if they're looking at you, they're going to see that out of the front window, right? The dual finger, they're going to see that. They're going to know. But if they don't, then it doesn't make you feel quite as strange as maybe it would if you go all out and really commit to a Tacoma wave, you know? Now, as I mentioned, we were doing the live stream Tacoma Safari today, and I actually did get waved at once. And I will admit, it's never first for me to wave, right? It's never on the top of my mind with the Tacoma. Different than it is when I'm in the Jeep. You know, when I'm driving around the Jeep, the Gladiator, I expect people to wave. But I gotta say, when I'm driving around in the Tacoma, I don't really expect it. Matter of fact, it's somewhat surprising when people actually do. So I'm driving around, we're doing the Tacoma Safari, and a guy in a black Tacoma actually did wave. And it was a pretty energetic wave. I mean, it wasn't a crazy wave, but he lifted his whole arm and, you know, did a wave, and it was actually pretty cool. Now, the problem is I didn't wave back, or at least not in time for him to actually see me wave, because in my truck, it would have to be a front-on wave, right? It wouldn't be a side wave out of the side window, because you can't see in my truck. The tent is dark enough that he couldn't have seen me wave even if I did. And that's another thing I want to bring up. You know, when you are going to do the wave, is it appropriate to wave out of the side of the truck? If, you know, you could see in. I mean, I'm assuming that if you don't have a tent like I do, or if your window's down, you know, somebody could see in. But is that an appropriate wave, or is that taboo? Do you not necessarily want to be waving out the side of your truck like it's your long-lost friend? You know, I think more so it's accepted when you wave out of the front of the truck, because that's kind of a brand acknowledgement from a stranger. I think that's probably more accepted. And I don't know that I've ever looked off to my left and done one of these, you know? That just seems kind of strange. That's kind of dorky, I think. So, how does it make you feel when you do the wave and they don't wave back? You know, I've experienced this a few times myself, and I think maybe that's why I don't wave as much as maybe I should, is because I don't want that rejection. You know, it feels like you're being rejected when you initiate the Tacoma wave and you don't get any reciprocation. Nobody waves back at you. You know, it's happened to me a few times. Way back when I first got the Voodoo Blue Tacoma, you know, I figured it's a beaming color, people would see it, and if they were of the same ilk as me, they would wave. So I would wave at people. And I gotta say, I don't think anybody waved back at me. They probably just thought, who's that dork driving down the road waving at me? I don't know anybody that drives a Voodoo Blue Tacoma. So it made me feel kind of rejected, you know, and I actually was looking forward to it. You know, it's as kind of a camaraderie. And I think that, oh, we're going to hit a big bump. Part of the joy of having a lifted truck with more aggressive tires. But anyway, I think it should be part of the camaraderie of owning a Tacoma, right? And matter of fact, I think it should even be written into your sales agreement. I think there should be a clause in there that states that if you're buying this Tacoma, you are obligated to wave at any other Tacomas that you see on the road. It should just be part of the club. Now, obviously, you can't make people do that, but they should at least feel the pressure, know that they are supposed to do that when they're joining the Tacoma fraternity. I think it's only right. So anyway, I just wanted to get on. I'm out. I'm cruising around. Just did the Tacoma Safari, which is kind of fun, by the way. Make sure you've got your notification bell checked so that when these pop up, you don't miss them. It's kind of interesting just to go drive around and see how many other Tacomas are out there and maybe what they've done with them, what mods they have, what they look like, even just the colors. It's kind of fun to do, I think. But leave a comment. Let me know. Do you experience the same thing? Do you feel like a dork when you wave to another Tacoma and they don't wave back? Or maybe you just feel like a dork if you do it at all. I'd be curious to know. Is it dorky to wave at other Toyota Tacomas? Leave a comment. Also, real quick, I do have 2 other channels. The first is RobMotive Tundra, all about primarily the redesigned Tundra that's coming, all the rumors, speculation, gossip, with a little bit of other older Tundra stuff thrown in, bringing back some of the oldies that I think you might be interested in. Also, RobMotive JT, all about my Jeep Gladiator, where many more people do the wave. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.